Yo, what's good, everyone? So, something dropped in the open source AI world. There's a new coding model out called Ornith 1.0, and the thing that makes it different from literally every other coding AI I've covered is that it learns how to run itself. Like, it doesn't just solve coding problems, it figures out how to organize its own thinking process while it's training. That's wild. And the best part? The 9B version runs locally on a single GPU. So we're going to set that up today, step by step. Let's get into it. So Ornith 1.0 comes from a team called DeepReinforce. They dropped this June 2026, like literally fresh out the oven. It's an open source model family built specifically for agentic coding, meaning it's designed to operate like an AI agent that can actually work through complex coding tasks on its own. Now it comes in four sizes: 9 billion, 31 billion, 35 billion MOE, and a massive 397 billion MOE. But for us today, we're keeping it real and running the 9 billion version, which is the one anyone with a decent GPU can actually use. It's built on top of Qwen 3.5, which is already a really solid base model, and it's released under the MIT license, so fully open, free to use, even commercially, no strings attached. And real quick, this is a reasoning model. That means before it gives you an answer, it goes through a thinking process internally. Kind of like how you'd think through a problem before writing the solution. You'll actually see that when we run it in a sec. Okay, so here's the part that actually got me hyped. Most AI coding agents, they come with a fixed harness. Think of a harness like a set of rules someone hand-wrote that tells the model how to approach a problem, how to use tools, how to handle errors, how to organize steps. Ornith 1.0 does something different. It learns to write its own harness. They call this self-scaffolding. Here's how it works during training. Step 1. The model looks at a task and the last scaffold it used, and it proposes a refined scaffold, a better playbook. Step 2. It uses that new scaffold to actually solve the task. Then the reward, basically a score for how well it did, gets fed back to both stages. So the model gets better at solving problems, and better at building the thing that helps it solve problems. Over thousands of training steps, this creates a feedback loop where the model keeps evolving smarter strategies, without any human having to design them. That's the self-improving part. And yeah, they also had to solve reward hacking, where the model could have cheated by just reading test files and hard-coding answers. They put 3 layers of protection in place: a fixed environment the model can't touch, a monitor that catches rule breaking, and a frozen judge AI that acts as a veto. Pretty solid engineering. Alright, let's talk numbers real quick. I know you want receipts. On SWE Bench Verified, which is the industry standard for testing whether an AI can actually fix real GitHub issues, the 9B model scores 69.4. For context, Gemma 431B, a model more than 3 times bigger, only hits 52. So this tiny 9B is punching way above its weight class. On Terminal Bench 2.1, which tests terminal-based coding agents, it scores 43.1, again, beating Gemma 4's 31B model, which scored 42.1. A 9B model beating a 31B, that's the headline. And if you're curious about the big one, the 397B MOE model scores 82.4 on SWE Bench Verified, which actually beats Claude Opus 4.7. So the whole model family is no joke. Alright, let's get this running. First, make sure you have Ollama installed. If you don't, just go to ollama.com and grab it. It's a one-click install. Then, in your terminal, just run the command. I'll put this in the description. That's it. Ollama pulls the GGUF version of the model straight from Hugging Face and starts a chat interface right in your terminal. It's going to download around 5 to 6 gigs depending on the quantization, so give it a minute. Once it loads, you can just type something like, "Write me a Python function that checks if a number is prime," and watch it go. You'll notice it does that thinking thing first, the reasoning block, before it gives you the actual code. That right there is the reasoning model behavior. The thinking happens internally, and the clean answer comes out at the end. Pretty clean. You can also access the same model from inside the Ollama chat interface. So real talk, Ornith 1.0 is genuinely one of the more interesting open source drops we've seen lately. Not because of the benchmark numbers alone, but because the approach is different. Teaching a model to build its own scaffolding during RL training is a real research contribution, not just a fine-tune on top of existing work. The 9B version in particular is just a solid local model for anyone doing agentic coding work. It runs on a single GPU, it's MIT licensed. It plays nice with open hands, open code, and basically any agent framework that speaks OpenAI API. All the links, the Hugging Face model page, the official blog, and the full benchmark tables, everything's in the description below. Go check it out for yourself. If you found this useful, drop a like. It actually helps the channel a ton. And if you want more breakdowns like this on open source AI drops, subscribe, because we stay on top of this stuff. Alright, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.